Okay, in this video, we're going to continue with our project one. This is part two of project one. So last time we just did the menu. If you remember, I'm going to go and run the program, and all it does is prints the menu. I can do A and it says I will add. We are really not adding anything. P and S don't do anything, but we got the menu displayed and the menu working. Okay, now we're going to do the second part, which is we are going to add and write the two functions. We're going to add and print. Add the list of videos, print the list of videos. Okay. Now, before we add and print the parallel array feature. Okay, so I want to show you the parallel arrays. Okay. How does this work? We are going to keep track of, remember, from the text file, if you remember, we have videos.txt. It has a list of names and the years, right, of the movies. And that's what we're going to keep track of. Okay. So a parallel array is going to look like, so this is an array of names. Okay. And remember, this is a two-dimensional array for us. And then we're going to have an array of year. Okay. So the movie name is going to go into this array. This is a char array. This is what we're going to create. A char array, two-dimensional array, remember, 101 characters, and I have a capacity of 20. And this is another array. It's going to be an int array, and it's going to have a capacity of 20 because this 20 is the same as this 20. The number of rows, I'm going to have 19. The maximum I can have is 20 lines, 0 to 19, which is 20. Remember, we start at 0, we go all the way to 20. So this is how we are going to store this list of this list of names, movie names and years. So the Lion King would go in here and the year would go in to this one. And likewise, so this would have Lion King and this would have whatever year I had there. Okay, so we're going to essentially two arrays. And the reason we say they are parallel is the index. That's what matters. That's what tells me that 0 here is Lion King, 0 here is the corresponding year. And if I say Happy Feet is in position 1, then the corresponding year for that is in position 1, right? And that's called a parallel array. They're two separate arrays, but the fact that we keep them parallel, they are parallel. So if I look for Lion King, I find it in position 0. I go to the corresponding index and I get the year and say, well, the Lion King movie was in this year and I found it in that position. Okay. So that's all about parallel arrays. That's what we're talking about when we say parallel arrays. And that's what we're going to use for this. Okay, with that said, now we already have the menu. On this side, I have the fully written code. I'm going to take parts of that and copy it. So now I'm going to take the video program. Now I'm going to, it's called video menu. So now I'm going to rename that. MV to move is to rename. Video menu.cpp, I'll call it video part 2 because we are working on part 2. That's CPP. Okay, not part 1, part 2. That's CPP. Okay, so now let's edit that code and add a few more things to it. Okay, this is for your second day, incremental programming. Remember, we are not doing everything all in the same day. So first of all, I want to add 2 prototypes. I want to add video and print the videos. Today, that's what I'm going to do. So we come over here to this window and I'm going to go here and I'm going to, okay, copy and paste that. So I got my 2 prototypes. Now I am going to write the 2 functions. I come down here and I don't need any of these. I'm just going to, where's my add video and print video? Those are the only 2 things that I need. So I'm going to take that much, and then come over here and go all the way to the bottom and let's add it. Okay, there we go. So I have added my 2 functions, add video and print video. And all this does is add video. Again, let's start from the top and see what add video is doing. Let's check the prototype first. So the prototype says add video takes 3 parameters. Video name, the video year. Those are the two arrays. Remember the char array that we talked about and the int array for the year. It takes those two arrays, and notice how we pass the array as parameters. Both arrays go in by reference, so they get changed, they come back changed. Count goes by reference. Notice the ampersand sign that says how we pass parameters by reference. Why is count being passed by reference? When I add a video, my count will increase, right? I add a video, count gets to be, I don't know, if it was 5 and I added a video, count should be 6. If it was 6 and I added a video, count should be 7, right? So count gets incremented. So it has to come back to main with a changed value. So then I can turn around and send it to print. And so when print actually prints the list, I will have the correct number. Okay, so print list takes char arrays. Again, the same array of names, char array, two-dimensional array, and the int array, and the count. Count does not go in by reference because print simply looks at it to print it. It does not do anything with the count. Now, in order for this to work, I need to create my variables in main, right? I need my two parallel arrays, which I don't have yet. So let's go here, and if you look here, I have my two parallel arrays that I'm going to create here in this code that I'm working on. This is your part 2 code. So I'm going to enter, here's my char array first, char, and what did I call it? Video name, like that, 20, and max car. That's my variable for the char array. Okay, the video names. And then I'm going to create an int array. We'll call that video year. And that's, again, going to have 20 elements in it, not 20 elements in it. Okay. I need those two variables. What else do I need? Those are the only things I need. I need count. Okay, let me have count. Int count equals 0. I need count. Okay. Now, how do we call these functions? So, case A, if the user says they want to add, notice, remember where we commented out that and said I will add? Let's remove the I will add. I don't need that. Instead, and uncomment these two lines. Okay. So, or just that one line, excuse me, uncomment that one line. So, add video will send this video name array and video year array to the add function, and the count, which is starting at 0, goes into the add video function. Let's take a look at the add video function and see what it does. It receives these 3 parameters. It tells the user, please enter the name of the movie. I read it using get line, video name, count. Remember, count is 0. So 0 is the subscript, the first place where I'm going to actually enter something. So if we go back here, initially there is nothing in my, where's my eraser? Okay, see if I can. Okay, so initially my array is empty. This eraser is as bad as my eraser. Let me try and use a better one. Okay, so initially my array is empty. I have nothing in there. I don't know why my erasers are not working. No, I don't want to erase everything. Okay, so initially there's nothing in my array. So all of this stuff is gone. Then, okay, so count is right here at 0. Let's get a thinner pencil. So count is at 0. Count. So when you insert the first name and the year will go right there. Then I will increment count. Count will go to the next one. Then I put in the next name and the next year, right? That's kind of how this is going to work. So if you look here, go here, scene.getLine, we read it into count. Count is initially 0. And of course, this is the syntax with the max car. And then I tell them, please enter the year of the movie, cin using extraction operator. Don't use getLine for numbers. It will not work. Extraction operator, video year of count. So count is to 0. So that's how parallel array works. Name goes in here, name goes in here, year goes in here. The same spot, 0, 0. Don't put 1 and 0 and 1 and 1, then it's not going to be parallel anymore. Then you go to the next one. Count goes to 1, count goes to 1 here, you put in the same count, right? Count is 1, here is 1. You put in the year, put in the next movie name for the next year. Then count becomes 2. Then you put the next movie name, next movie year. So that's how you're kind of keeping arrays in parallel. Remember that. Okay, go back to this code. So all we are doing is, in this case, we are only doing one name from the user, one name and 1 year. Then count gets incremented, function is done, we go back. Go back here, and the menu gets displayed again. Because that's what this loop does. The do while loop says, as soon as they're done adding 1, that particular case is done. You break out of there, you come here, it's not equal to Q, display the menu again. And if they want to add another movie, they say A, goes back down here, adds another movie, count gets incremented. So every time they want to add a movie, it's going to go into that function. Okay? And then we call the print function. Let me uncomment that. So there. Now we turn around and send the list of name and year and count to the print function. The print function, all it does is go through a for loop and prints it. That's all it does, separated by a semicolon. So I go through a for loop because count comes in. For I equals 0, I less than count. I print the whole thing, separated by space. Video name of I is the name of the movies, and year is the name of the years of the movies, right? Okay, let's see if this works. We'll save it. Now it's G++. Here, let's use up arrows to get my thing back. There we go. And then instead of video menu was a video part 2. And let's take the executable and change it to part 2. Okay, then you run it, /part2. Now if I say A to add, it actually says please enter the name of the movie. So let's enter Lion King, the year of the movie. I added 1 movie, the name of the movie. I do A, let's add Happy Feet. And maybe, I don't know, 1980. Now if I do P to print, it has 2 movie names, right? I search, I can type in King, and it says, well, search is an invalid option. It says because I didn't implement search, so that's not going to work. But I can do Q to quit. Okay, so that is part 2, where you add 2 functions, add and print.